Yo, yo, what's up, Rumblers? Welcome to something I want to call the Aftershock. We're going to catch up on all the Warcraft Rumble news, and we're going to give them a perspective. We're going to give a perspective from the casual player's point of view, right? This week was a big week. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name's Gary, but you probably know me as Tan Man. Okay, so by the time you see this, all of these should be released, but we got ourselves 3D printer blueprints for all your minis. Check it out. Anixia blueprint got released. I believe it must have been like within the last like 24 hours or so. Holy crap. This, I really want this. I've never done 3D printing. I've never owned a 3D printer. I don't know anyone who owns a 3D printer. I don't even know how much these cost. So if you know, let me know. I want them all. I want to, at the very least, print out all the minis except for the spells. I mean, like Cheat Death looks cool, but I don't know. I just want all the minis, and not only that, but I want to paint on them. So, is there a special material that I need to use to be able to paint on them? This board game called Hero Quest that had these figurines, and me and my brother used to paint them. Kind of like your tabletop games, like Warhammer and stuff. They're all out, and I assume they're gonna continue releasing them as the weeks go by. But these look so cool. Okay, so the second piece of news is we had the global launch this week. I guess they promoted it like yesterday was going to be the global launch, November 3rd, but I remember being at work on Thursday, and it was in the midday. It was like before lunch, like we're talking about 10, 11 in the morning. And I was checking the Discord, and people were already talking about, hey, like this is already available in Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and I can download it. And not only can I download it, I can play it already. And over there, it was probably around, 11 p.m., like right before midnight of like rolling into November 3rd. So they were already rolling out Warcraft Rumble like early, and I suppose it makes sense because, well, yesterday, day one of BlizzCon, like yesterday, oh, not yesterday, on Thursday, the Discord was on fire. Everybody was talking about, getting in, starting offers, like, how do I get this? How do I get the Arclight booster? I want the Arclight booster as soon as possible. There should have been a global launch like offer in the store. I might have been tempted to get it, but as of right now, I'm only riding on the Arclight booster. Okay, so after that intro at BlizzCon, like the information that we already knew about, I think later that day they had a panel. It was called Warcraft Rumblings, and I'm just going to briefly go over some of these notes. But there's one note later that I really need to hone in on, and I hope everyone listening fully understands the impact. A little intro to the game. They talk about tower defense. If you don't know what the game's about, it's definitely not tower defense in I guess in the traditional sense. If you haven't played, it's very similar to like Clash Royale. There's different maps, there's bosses, there's a PvE campaign, there's raids, well, soon to be, and of course PvP, which I hope they introduce like 2v2 mode and stuff like that. Just like how we're gonna have co-op PvE, they should have co-op PvP, right? Mini collecting, so yeah, in a sense like a hero collector type of mobile game, but I feel like the ability to collect all of the minis in the game is quite easy. Whereas like in other games, certain like, I don't know, cards or units might be super, super rare and you'll just never end up seeing them. But I ended up collecting all the minis within a week or two. Guys, I'm recruiting for a new guild. The one I'm currently in is okay. I mean, we're going to get all the rewards, but there are a couple of slackers and I can't just kick them. One happens to be my brother, and one's my cousin. So after the panel was kind of interesting, they went into the history of like how they started developing Warcraft Rumble. You should actually check it out to see like their early concept drawings and artwork. But this is the part that everyone's super keen on, interested in, is the future of Warcraft Rumble. As you know, we're in season 1. We have Sylvanas. Season 2. Now it says right here in the notes that it brings a troop that can be added to any army. It is the Chimera. It's a 2-headed flying unit. One head spits an AoE poison attack, and one head, I believe, does a chain lightning. This unit sounds insane. Like, if there was another 6 gold unit aside from Rend, this would be it. I have a feeling this flying unit is going to be at least 6 gold. Season 3. Here we go. 3rd Black Rock leader, Emperor Thaurissan. Yeah, we knew this was coming, right? BlackRock was the only family without a 3rd leader. So moving forward, it could be any family that gets the next leader, right? So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think we'll get that for a while. I think they'll keep it at 3 leaders each for a while. And then season 4, we got the Fairy Dragon. I believe it's another flying unit. Yeah, which is resistant. So again, we have maybe another possible addition to your Ren decks. Ragnaros as the new leader mini. They didn't mention family here. I mean, if he had to pick a family, it would be BlackRock, but maybe they have some sort of other neutral family just for, I don't know, like world boss, raid boss minis. Who knows? And you're not going to get them until you beat the raid. I think it's 3 wings, and yeah, obviously the last wing's going to have Rag. You're not going to get him until you beat him. And his wing is like level 29, right? It's like 1 level under Onyxia. Supporting features, co-op modes, this is very exciting. From Warcraft Rumble's initial conception, it was viewed as a co-op game. So yeah, they originally had the idea that this was going to be a co-op game. I'm glad to see this. Now, the co-op that I'm seeing in this panel anyway is that you're only going to be able to like co-op with people in your guild, if I'm reading this correctly. Obviously, and this is the next step, it just makes sense, is that they implement or they integrate your BattleNet friends list so that you can play with anybody on that list. Doesn't have to be anybody in your guild. A lot more flexibility that way. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so developing the party and raid feature opens the potential for added modes of co-op play, such as completing quests, Arclight surges, and PvP. Not like you need help in quests and surges, but definitely PvP. I see like a singles ladder and a dual ladder. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, this is what's concerning, okay? But it's concerning and exciting at the same time. Okay, so raids will require players to party with one of their guildmates. If you're leading a guild and your focus is to eventually raid, then it's going to limit you to a very small, I believe, population of the player base. It's going to be hard to find like a guild of raiders, right? Like raiders, as of right now, are going to be whales, right? They're going to be the players who are dishing out the cash, so to speak. Raids are available for a limited time each season. So a season 6 weeks. This is kind of weird to me because why would a raid only be available for a subset of that season? You know what I'm saying? Like if a season 6 weeks, like are they saying that the raid's only up for like 4, 5 weeks? Like less? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for that. But I don't see the reason why they couldn't just make it like season long. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Expectation for Molten Core is that the first wing is at level 26, second wing 27, and like, well, you can figure like the third wing is 28. This is a problem for me. And I'll tell you why. So I have an Arclight boosted account. So I'm not exactly free to play, but I do like this game and I can see value in a purchase. I got the Arclight booster. I've been playing since the start of soft launch, I would say semi-casually. My mini average level is like just under 15. For me to be, I guess you could say quote unquote raid ready, I would have to somehow like scrummage or level like another 6 levels, right? And that is going to be like crazy difficult. Let's just assume I'm able to actually upgrade the minis I want to raid with. to epic rarity. So that'll put me at about level 22, right? I need another 4 more levels just from XP. And if you guys have paid attention to how like the XP curve is, like you need almost like approximately double the amount of XP as a previous level. Let's be generous, okay? Let's just say I've only been playing 2 months. 2 months of hardcore grinding. And I'm only at a level 14 to 15 average. I would need another 2 months to level up to 15. Another 4 months to level up to 16. Another 8 months to level up to 17. You see where I'm getting, right? You see where I'm getting at? How much time would it take me to get 4 more levels? If my calculations are correct, it would take me approximately... I'm looking at another year, guys. Okay, I think I could probably shrink that down if I just focus on like maybe 5 or 6 minis. It's gonna be a long time. And when this raid finally releases, which I assume is in the somewhat near future, I don't think I'm gonna be ready. I'm not gonna be raid ready. And if I'm not raid ready, a free-to-play player, like a completely free-to-play player, isn't gonna be raid ready. That is concerning. Dungeon and zone content. New dungeon, Skullomance. Now this is interesting because if I'm not mistaken, there's only 4 dungeons in the game. If they add another dungeon, like I hope they shuffle the rotation around somehow, because if it's 5 dungeons and 5 families, and the rotations like continues as it has been, wouldn't the same family end up with the same dungeon every single time? Like that's why I'm curious, like how they're gonna like shuffle it. A new campaign zone, Moonglade. That's cool. That's cool. And we knew it was coming, right? If you look at the map on this side anyway. There it is. There's a lot of potential here. This is just Azeroth too, right? So of course we have Outlands, we have Northrend, we have Pandaria, we have Draenor, we got the Shadowlands. This is actually one of the updates that I provided feedback for in the Discord, and it actually just so happens to be true. They're actually going to implement it. In regards to PvP, you know how we have the same map for 2 weeks? In my mind, I was like, that's so stale, right? In World of Warcraft, every time you queue into a rated battleground, right, or an arena, you don't know what map you're getting until you're actually in there, right? Same thing with Warcraft Rumble. I feel like whenever you queue, right, it should be like a new map every time, or like a randomized map. And here we go. Point number 1, updating the seasonal rotation system to randomize what map selection rather than featuring the same map for the entire season to keep things fresh and fun. That was exactly my mindset, and they're implementing that. Good on them. And then they finally wrapped the panel with the idea of actual unit skins, right? So character skins. Playing World of Warcraft, it wasn't just having the best equipment or gear in that game. You wanted to look good, right? And transmog in World of Warcraft was huge. It was a huge deal. I don't know what it is, but having your units look a certain way is psychologically aiding. Or it could be intimidating as well, right? I don't know. Like imagine having your army look like robots or something, like a mecha-themed army. It would look cool, right? That's the recap, guys. Yeah, we're gonna do this every Saturday. Just go over what's been happening over the last week. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Aftershock. We'll see you guys in the endgame.
Subscribe.